Hi, this is Shauna Huber, and I'm here with my co-founder and partner, Jennifer Crawley of the Life Care Management Institute. And we'd like to welcome our guest today, Tasha Beauchamp with Elder Pages Online. Welcome, Tasha.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for being here. So Tasha founded the Elder Pages Online and is considered an expert in healthcare marketing. Even more valuable is how Tasha helps life care managers market their services. There's so much to learn, and you seem to cover it all, Tasha. So I just wanted to go through some questions, and see if you could share your expertise today. So we're excited that you're here and grateful for your contribution even to our online classes found in lcmexpert.com. And you have a huge amount of information to share on your website, Elder Pages Online. And just curious, what made you start Elder Pages Online?
Well, I'm a firm believer in Archimedes' lever, which is getting as much impact out of my 40 hours a week as I can possibly do. And I worked for 18 years as a research scientist working at the National Institute on Aging. And my focus was on family caregiver interventions. And while I love research, it's kind of an echo chamber. And I really wanted to get out there and be reaching people. So I decided to turn to the private sector and to bring all of the evidence-based research that we knew about and create like newsletters that then care managers could, it was syndicated content is what it is. So care managers get a territory that's just theirs. They get this evidence-based content and are able to project their expertise to their service area. And what we found is that over the years, we now have 100 clients around the country, and there's about 50,000 subscribers to the newsletter. So my lever is doing very well in terms of
Congratulations.
using technology to reach a lot of people and help family caregivers.
Yeah, there's such a need for it for sure. So it can feel overwhelming trying to keep up with all the social media things like newsletters. And if you were to pick the top tools of marketing for care management, what would your top three be?
Well, I would say off the top, you need a website that's got good educational content, because if you're going to do any social media, you have to have things to share besides "I'm great, hire me." That doesn't work. So you want to have educational resources. So a blog or an online newsletter, something like that. The second thing would be to really use email. Everybody still has email, and you send out an e-newsletter, even if they don't open it up. It's like it's done 90% of its work just landing in their inbox, and they go, "That's right, ABC Care Management. They do a great job," or "They really understand me." It helps keep you top of mind. And then the third thing I would say is probably LinkedIn, to blog on LinkedIn, because that's where you're going to reach your referrers. 88% of attorneys are on LinkedIn, and they are key referrers for care managers. So blog regularly there, and you will help increase your visibility with your what's called business to business marketing.
Mhm. Excellent. Hi, Tasha. I now get to take over asking you a question. So the contribution you made to the Life Care Management Institute in our online classroom is so appreciated. We thank you so much for what you have provided for our students and the help that you have given us. So care managers, care management practices will find it necessary to really invest in their own education on marketing, and may need to help hire someone to help them get a good marketing plan going. It's all about revenue, expanding access to services, making sure the communities you serve really know who you are and that you exist. I remember when I was just starting out, I didn't really know a lot about how to market my own services, and I'm still learning, every day about it. So what could you tell us about really how we can expand our presence, knowing that we can easily get lost, our message can get lost very easily in the over 20 to 30,000 marketing messages per day that we're all exposed to. How do we stand out from the immense crowd on search engines such as Google?
Yeah, okay. Well, the truth is that very few people search for care manager on Google. They just don't know what that is. So what you really need to be doing, or let me back up and say, looking at the analytics, which is web traffic, about 70% of traffic that comes from Google to a care manager's website is because somebody Googled your name. So that means they heard about you probably somewhere else. So what you want to do on Google is have a very strong Google business profile. So that's the part on this, like the right side of a Google search result, where you'll notice, hopefully the people we're talking to, have set up that panel. It's free from Google. It's astounding real estate to give you for free, but it usually you probably recognize it, like it's got a picture of your building and a map. If you really fill that out well, and then are blogging and have your blogs show up there on that Google business profile, the really big part about the business profile is you get Google reviews. That's the place where people give you reviews. I hope that you work with your webmaster and have them display those reviews on your website. But it's getting those reviews that you want to really pay attention to, because they're finding with consumers, and you might recognize this in your own behavior, that people will Google you, look and see how many stars you have, your average stars for reviews. And if it's under 4, they don't even bother calling or checking your website. So, with all the things, like I have clients that have tried to do Google ads. I don't do Google ads for people. I just think it's a waste of time. But if you get a good solid business profile page, that panel, and then work on getting your Google reviews, I think that's the best way to have a strong presence on Google.
Thank you for that. I think it's really important for healthcare professionals too, and care managers just getting started in their own practice to not have to go it alone. Care managers especially are prone to trying to do it all, or feel like they're too limited in their finances to have the budget to pay for marketing. Isn't it true, though, that building a presence online and elsewhere can be cost effective? And with the right approach, even small efforts can result in growth. And I know you mentioned you have suggestions outside of the online space or the digital space too. So
So yeah, what I would say with that is that to really, very few people look at your website and call you up and say, make out a contract. I'd like to sign up, right? There's a customer journey that happens, So a
definitely.
lot of the things we think about with marketing is the discovery part of that journey, which is look at me, and that's your newsletters, that's your, social media, whatever. But do not underestimate the importance of real-time meetings. So whether it's Zoom, webinars, virtual coffees, or actually the old-fashioned, have a coffee date or something, marketing, especially with your referrers, is very important. And so here's what I say about, when people say to me, well, I know Facebook, I can do that, no problem. It's like, well, of course you can do it, but should you be doing it? Because maybe your marketing time is better spent doing things like meeting with referrers that only you can do, and that it's going to be what gets you the actual contracts, or going and doing presentations at senior centers so people are seeing you. Then you have your strong web presence and you've got your social media and that. But if you aren't spending your time doing the offline stuff, it doesn't all just magically happen online. That bolsters your in-person activities. And aside from, the other thing I hear is, yes, I can, but that's something I can do myself. And then a year later, they'll come back and they'll say, I could do it, but I didn't do it, And so that's where I say, yeah, outsource what you can outsource, and then focus your attention on the things only you can do. And that will be the next step, the taking it across the finish line.
Mhm. Yeah, I think that's great advice to surround yourself with smart people that are experts in their field so that you can be an expert in your field and free up that time. So that's really good advice. And it's great to know too that we're able to collaborate and building great resources for our colleagues around the country in the United States as well as internationally. So I wanted to list out the classes that you had contributed, Tasha, that are on lcmexpert.com that people can download and view. So the classes found a la carte are expanding your Google presence, blogs and newsletters, social media for care managers, what to include on your website. Yeah, so it's really amazing to have all of these classes, and thanks for your support and having these great resources for care managers.
This is
So
part
can
of
you
my
share?
Archimedes lever. I said it's part of my Archimedes lever helping the providers. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So how can you best, oh, can you share how to learn more about your team and anyone interested in connecting with you? And any last words to conclude our interview?
Sure. I guess what I would say is the reason to contact us is if you want to work with someone who knows care management. So I have, people will call and they say, well, my husband's a techie, or my kids will do this for me, or that kind of thing, or I can figure out Wix. It's like, go for it, go ahead. There are a lot of rookie mistakes that get made. And people come to us eventually saying, you understand care management, you know our audience, you get their pain points. And, there's just things when I say rookie mistakes, like not paying attention to visual impairment and needing high contrast. I mean, things that just as professionals, we can do.
Mhm.
So when you're ready to not make rookie mistakes and want somebody that you're not going to have to explain what it is that you do, we understand and we know who your audience is, by all means, contact us. Go to elderpagesonline.com to find out more about our different services. And you can certainly email me at tasha@elderpagesonline.com.
Thank you. And I know I just wanted to put a plug in also for, you're really an expert in the care management social marketing. So I know there's a lot of people out there that do it, but like I hired someone before I knew about your services and they didn't understand it well enough and just posting like a little bit of fluff and inspirational words which isn't, really specific to the care management field and not as, it's kind of like throwing a little bit of money out the window, not being effective as you would like with someone who's in the field. And to learn more too about Tasha's classes at the Life Care Management Institute and other classes, you can go to lcmexpert.com. And do you have anything else to add, Jen?
Oh, thank you so much. I don't know if you probably can't hear the Elvis music playing in the speakers above us. But we're broadcasting live from Memphis, Tennessee, where we were speaking at a conference. So we appreciate you carving out a little bit of your day to join us and help just impart some wisdom onto the care management industry and any professionals that are interested in starting their own practice. Maybe they can use your advice and make it a little bit easier for them to find success and especially get their name out there and get known in their community as the experts that they are. So thank you.
Thank you
Thank
for
you,
having
Tasha.
me. You bet.
Yeah. Have a great rest of your day.
Yeah.